The American financial system has officially crossed into the dead zone as we head into this Monday morning opening bell, and you need to understand that the reports of the US Treasury shutting down physical silver deliveries are the ultimate confirmation that the $37 trillion debt bomb has finally detonated. You have been watching the manipulated paper price on your screen all weekend, thinking that the system is under control, but the secret data leaking from the Treasury Department suggests that a silent default is underway because the government no longer has the silver required to fulfill its industrial and monetary mandates. While the mainstream media keeps you distracted with meaningless political headlines, the foundation of the US dollar is being incinerated in real time as the smart money exits the fiat matrix and scrambles for the last remaining ounces of physical metal. We are witnessing stage 0 inventory collapse at the COMEX and the LBMA, where the exit doors have been welded shut for 99% of the population who are still holding worthless digital promises. I want you to look directly at the internal delivery notices from the US Mint because they are screaming a warning that you cannot afford to ignore. The production of silver eagles has effectively hit a brick wall because the Treasury cannot source wholesale silver at these suppressed paper prices. You've been told that the dollar is backed by the full faith and credit of the government, but that faith is evaporating as the Treasury reportedly prepares to initiate force majeure protocols to prevent a total run on the nation's strategic reserves. This is the great deception in its final, most desperate act, where the banking cartels are using every high-frequency algorithm to smash the paper price just long enough to secure the last physical bars for the elite before the price discovery shifts permanently to the east. If you do not have physical silver in your possession right now, you are essentially an unsecured creditor to a bankrupt empire that is preparing to bail in your savings to survive one more day. Do you understand what it means when the US Treasury shuts down silver deliveries while the national debt hits $37 trillion? It means the government has lost control of the commodity markets and is now forced to ration the one asset that exposes the death of the fiat dollar. You are part of a giant game of musical chairs where 500 paper claims are fighting over one single physical ounce, and the Monday opening bell is the sound of the music stopping forever. This is a national security crisis disguised as a supply chain glitch. And the Federal Reserve is currently working overtime behind closed doors to print emergency liquidity to hide the fact that the bullion banks are functionally insolvent. The $185 price target. I am warning you about today is the mathematical gravity, well, that silver is being pulled toward as the fake paper suppression mechanism finally shatters under the weight of the systemic default. I have spent the last 12 hours dissecting the reverse repo market and the latest warehouse outflows, and the evidence of a global silver raid is irrefutable as China and India have successfully drained 80 million ounces from Western vaults this weekend alone. While you were sleeping, the monetary power of the world was being transferred to the BRICS nations, leaving the US Treasury holding nothing but empty vaults and a mountain of unpayable debt. You're witnessing a geopolitical coup where the East is effectively bankrupting the West by demanding physical settlement for every contract they hold, and the Monday default is the first public crack in the dam before the entire system breaks. The stage 0 inventory alert is your final exit sign. And if you don't take action before the opening bell, you will find yourself permanently priced out of the only asset that can protect your family's future. I want you to ignore the official statements from the Treasury and focus on the cold data. The vaults are empty, the exchanges are dark, and the global silver supply has been effectively shut down to the general public to protect the institutional elite. You are witnessing the final gasps of a 50-year fiat experiment that has lost control of the physical world and is now trying to maintain order through psychological warfare and digital manipulation. The great deception is the belief that things will ever go back to normal, when in reality, the world has already moved on to a system where physical possession is the only law that counts for wealth preservation. If you are waiting for a confirmed signal from the mainstream news, you are already too late, because by then, the ask price for silver will have vanished from the screens, and the dealers will be sold out indefinitely. Have you noticed how APMEX, JM Bullion, and SD Bullion have started flashing out of stock or extending delivery times to record lengths while the spot price remains artificially suppressed? That is the physical market telling you that the paper price is a total fiction, a digital ghost intended to trick you into selling your generational wealth for pennies on the dollar just before the reset. You're being lulled into a false sense of security while JP Morgan and the Federal Reserve are using this Monday morning to manage a controlled demolition of the middle class's purchasing power. This is the final shakeout before the triple-digit moonshot, and if you don't recognize it as such, you are falling for the oldest trick in the banking playbook that has been used to steal wealth for centuries. I am monitoring the arbitrage between New York and Shanghai for you every single hour, and the premium in the East has now reached a point where it is physically impossible for the West to maintain its vaults without a total price reset. This drain of your national wealth is being ignored by the US Treasury because it reveals the total failure of their monetary policy and the end of the dollar's dominance. When the vaults in London and New York are finally and officially empty, the price discovery will move permanently to the Shanghai Gold Exchange, and you will be left holding paper in a world that only accepts physical reality. The Monday default is about realizing that the rules of the game have changed and that the only thing that matters is what you can hold in your own hand and protect with your own strength. I want you to ask yourself, why are the billionaire family offices in the US moving their wealth into private, unallocated silver storage while telling the public to keep their money in a savings account? It's because they know the debt nuke is live, and they are building their own lifeboats while they lead you to the slaughterhouse of inflation. You're being tricked into staying in a digital prison while the elite move their wealth into hard assets that cannot be printed, hacked, or deleted by a government decree. Silver is the Achilles heel of the entire central banking system, and the stage 0 inventory alert is the fire alarm that most people are choosing to ignore until the flames reach their front door. Everything you see on the news today regarding the market stability is a carefully choreographed distraction from the fact that the US Treasury has run out of physical bullion to defend the dollar's status. Silver is the only asset that represents a physical truth that they cannot manipulate once the vaults hit zero, and they are terrified that you will finally realize that the US dollar is in a terminal death spiral. The force majeure protocols are already being prepared in the boardrooms of the major exchanges to freeze the market before the price hits $100 and triggers a global stampede for physical metal. The Monday default is not just about silver, it is about the end of the fiat era and the return to honest, commodity-backed money. I am here to bring you the truth that the mainstream media is afraid to report, so you can stay one step ahead of the banking cartels and the elite news cycles designed to keep you poor. The $180 shock is just the beginning of a cycle that will see silver revalued as the primary global monetary asset, once again as the unbacked dollar experiment ends in total failure. I will continue to track every ounce that leaves the vaults for you to keep you one step ahead of the corrupt banking cartels that want to see you broke and dependent. Stay alert, stay physical, and do not let the red candles on your trading app scare you away from the only asset that will survive the coming reset on this Black Monday. I want you to understand that the supply shutdown at major US dealers is the final smoke signal from a burning building, and the Monday default is the roof collapsing. You're being given one last chance to exit the fiat trap and enter the safety of hard assets before the ask price for silver disappears from the screens entirely. Don't wait for a confirmed signal from the people who lied to you about inflation being transitory, because by then the price will be out of your reach and the vaults will be empty. Stay strong, stay physical, and do not let the Black Monday distraction steal your generational wealth during the greatest vertical price reset in history. The $185 target is the inevitable conclusion of a system that has run out of time and metal to settle its debts in an honest manner, making a vertical price reset the only way to survive the collapse. Every time the banks print a new billion-dollar short contract to smash the price, they only add fuel to the eventual short squeeze that will propel silver into triple digits without a single warning. You are witnessing the final gasps of a dying monetary regime trying to maintain order through psychological warfare and artificial price suppression that is no longer working in the physical world. The Great Deception relies on your patience, but while you wait, the exit doors have been welded shut. I am monitoring the COMEX registered stocks for you every hour, and the data shows a massive, unprecedented internal transfer of metal intended to hide the total drain from your eyes. We are looking at a default in slow motion, where the plumbing of the financial system is clogged, and the only solution for the elite is to trick you into staying in paper until it's too late. Everything in the news right now is a distraction from the fact that the monetary order is rotting from the inside out, and the stage 0 event is the final signal of the endgame for the US dollar. Silver is the only asset that they cannot print, hack, or delete, making it your ultimate tool for financial rebellion. Your only defense is to remove your wealth from the digital matrix before the banking cartels lock the door on physical delivery, and the force majeure becomes the only law of the land. Stage 0 is real, and the exposed truth is that the world's largest banks have already been bailed in through the strategic manipulation of precious metal prices at your direct expense. They are hoping you will be too busy reading about political scandals to notice that they are taking the last of the physical bullion for themselves while you hold the bag of worthless digital zeros. Don't let the red candles on your trading app scare you away from the only asset that will survive. The $180 shock is just the beginning of a cycle that will see silver revalued as the primary global monetary asset once again as the fiat experiment ends in total failure. I will continue to track every ounce that leaves the vaults for you to keep you one step ahead of the corrupt banking cartels that want to see you broke and dependent. The Monday default is the final confirmation that the silver trap has finally sprung shut, and the physical reality of scarcity is now the only story that matters for your financial future. Position yourself on the right side of history and do not fall for the final trap as the establishment attempts to manage the reset. Stay alert, stay physical, and remember that in a world of digital chaos, the only thing that matters is what you can hold in your own hand and protect with your own strength. The force majeure is no longer a legal theory. It is a mathematical inevitability that will reset the global financial clock and return the world to a system where physical backing is all that matters for trade. I am here to bring you the data that they want to suppress, so subscribe and stay tuned as we track the final collapse of the paper system together. The bailout is over, the dealers are empty, and the time to protect your wealth is right now before the deception is revealed. You have a choice today. You can believe the stability narrative and stay trapped in a failing digital system, or you can look at the physical reality and protect your family's future with real money. The Monday default is a gift of time for those who are awake, allowing you to secure physical bullion while the paper markets are in a state of terminal confusion and the price discovery is on hold. Don't waste this moment, because when the lights come back on, the world will be a very different place, and the price of silver will be the new reality that no one can ignore. This is your final call to recognize the signs of a failing American system and to position yourself on the right side of the silver-backed reality before the stampede begins. The stage 0 warning is the final signal that the exit door is closing, and those who fail to act now will be swept away in the hyperinflationary flood that follows every currency collapse. The bailout is over, the dealers are empty, and the time to protect your wealth is right now before the deception is revealed to the world. Stay alert, stay physical, and don't let the Monday default steal your future. I want you to ignore the noise and focus on the data. The vaults are empty, the dollar is in a death spiral, and the physical silver supply has been shut down to the general public. This is the moment we have been preparing for, and the time to secure your physical position is now before the Monday morning opening bell resets the rules of the game. The great deception is the belief that the system will survive another week of this debt madness, but the math says otherwise, and the silver inventory says otherwise. Stay alert, stay physical, and stay strong. Don't be the exit liquidity for a system that has spent decades rigging the rules against you. Stay strong, keep stacking, and don't let the debt trap steal your future. This is the endgame of the fiat experiment, and silver is the only way to secure your financial sovereignty in the new world order that is being built as we speak. The stage 0 warning is the final signal. The dealers are offline, and the reset is officially here. Be ready, be physical, and stay strong in the face of the coming chaos. End of transmission for today.